Hey everyone, Sonia here. And I'm sorry I haven't really been on here. I've been just working really hard. Um, but I feel like it's about time I gave you an update. And this is going to be an update on what's going on with Aaron and his chronic wound, which still the problem isn't solved. So I want to let you know how that turned out with the private clinic that we went to. My honest impression was it kind of gave the vibes like some business person decided, let's make a clinic, and they set this place up, and it was very new, and the people that were running the front desk were just like newly hired and didn't really know too well what they're doing. I'm not saying this to disparage them, I'm just giving you my honest opinion. This was Clinic Omicron, by the way, in Brossard. One of the secretaries told me that it was her first day. The other one, I think, told me that she'd only been there for 2 or 3 days. And that one actually, and again, not to disparage, but just to say, she did not speak English or French in a way that I could understand her. She had such a heavy Spanish accent that I ended up just speaking Spanish to her because I was like, I'm sorry, I can't understand your French. And her English was even more broken. So that was the front desk. The problem that I had with the clinic was that when I called and I asked them, can they do a biopsy and can they refer him for whatever, they said yes. But then when I got there, it turns out they can't do a biopsy, they can't debride, they really can't do much of anything. So that was the thing, that those secretaries in the front, that they don't really know what they're talking about, and they gave us the impression that they could do a biopsy right there, and they could not. So somebody should tell those secretaries what they can and can't do, you know? The wound care nurse was super nice. She gave us some good recommendations, but and the doctor also, let me back up because we saw him first. He was very nice, but he's like a GP. And again, the wound care nurse, very nice lady. Both of them, I felt like the treatment was very nice and respectful. However, the situation was outside of their expertise. The problem that Aaron has is just so much more complicated than what you can deal with at any clinic. And I kind of knew that, but I was hoping, sorry about the noise, I was hoping that they could refer him for something, especially a biopsy. And again, that was like, they didn't even know how to do that. I think in the end, the doctor said he was going to refer to a dermatologist, which we've already seen a dermatologist, but like a year ago. So now we're just waiting. I mean, I could pay for a private dermatologist. I could shell out the funds and I could actually do that. Take him to a dermatologist and say, listen, we want a biopsy. And I could probably get it. So I think we're almost at the point where we're going to do that. But we might not have to. But in any case, he was supposed to get a blood test, a referral for dermatology, and a referral for something else. Oh, a prescription for a new dressing called Aquacel. We didn't get the prescription, and we didn't get we got the blood test requisition, and I guess we're just waiting for the referral. So in the end, it didn't really lead to any big improvement in our situation. Although the recommendations she gave were definitely better than the clinic, and for that alone, it was worth going there for us, because I told you how I was being treated at the clinic here, where she wasn't giving very good recommendations. She admitted that the situation was outside of her expertise, and yet if I asked questions or seemed to doubt her or even pushed for her to look for a foreign object in the wound, she would get really annoyed with me, and like she was basically, should I say borderline hostile or like straight up hostile? Anyway, somewhere in that area. So that was such a bad experience. But now that I went to the other one and she gave new recommendations, when I come back here and I have to deal with Anita, if I have to, I will tell her that it was a different nurse that recommended this. It's not me, the stupid caregiver. It was a professional. So there, take that and put it in your pipe and smoke it, Anita. So anyway, for that, it was worth it. So what happened after that was the wound started draining all over again. And I wish that I could show you what it looks like, because when people are like, put aloe vera in it, I'm sorry. If you saw what we're dealing with, you would understand this is way past aloe vera, manuka. It has basically grown some kind of gnarly tissue. Like your skin is supposed to be on the surface, and then inside it's supposed to be nice pink muscle, but it's going in this way, and it's not pink, it's not muscle, it's like the scar tissue has grown this way, except it's not even, yeah, it's not even normal scar tissue. It's all like lumpy and gnarly and fibrin or whatever. But if you have a wound, usually the way it'll close is that because the inside is like muscle tissue, it's like inside body tissue, it will hopefully fill up and then kind of, close and then epithelialize. However, when the whole sides are like this plasticky, scarry kind of tissue, it's not able to close, and it's not even able to come up. It's such a 21-year-old wound. It's such a disaster. But anyway, just trust me, there's nothing we can stick in there. There's literally nothing that we can put in there that's going to heal it. There might be some things we could use that would help keep the infection down a bit, but this thing's not going to close, and that's for sure, unless there's some surgical intervention. Basically, that's where we're at. So it had started to drain again. So brought him back to the doctor, and he put him on antibiotics again. And this has like been going on since February. It drains horribly. And if you could just see, I wish I could show you. When I have to change his bedding, his sheets, everything every day. It looks like there was a crime scene. It looks like somebody kicked the bucket on that bed. There is so much of this, and there's so much blood in it. Am I allowed to say blood on here? For fuck's sake, I don't know what I'm allowed to say anymore. It's just really bad, and it goes through the sheet, the mattress protector, and the pad that I put underneath. And in the pad that's underneath, the absorbent pad, it looks like blood, basically like dried or like brown, like blood. So he's losing so much blood from the wound. No wonder he's anemic. I said this before, but I'll say it again. And the doctor's like, I don't think you're taking your iron pills. Oh, really? Come and see this bed after he slept in it and tell me that the problem is he's not taking his iron pills. I don't think that's it. I think he's losing blood. He's slowly bleeding to death. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, something like that, And it does get better when he's on antibiotics, and then it comes right back. So that's what happened. He was on antibiotics again, like this month, for probably the second time. And actually, right as he had finished it on a Monday, on Tuesday we went out to dinner, and Arron was feeling better. He was looking good. And we actually crossed the street, like crossed paths with the doctor as we were crossing the street. And the doctor just goes, he's looking good. And we were like, yeah. And he was. And then 3 days later, the bed is a crime scene again. And the stuff that's coming out, it's like red, it's like rivers of red. Hey, it's so bad. Not red like, when you have a cut and a fresh like that, but it's just like, it's whatever's in there, it's like mixed with red, and it's so bad. So he finished his antibiotics on Monday, and by Saturday, it's pouring out this stuff again. The bed is a crime scene. Today is Monday, so this has been since Saturday. So the antibiotics only hold 3 or 4 days. So today, Monday, I brought him back again to the clinic, and I specifically booked it not with our GP. I booked it on the walk-in, and we had this really, really nice doctor who actually listened to us. First of all, I came in with a video to show her, because the last time I brought him in on the walk-in, that doctor didn't even look at him, didn't even look at the wound, sent us to Anita. That's when that happened. So this time, first thing I do is I show her the video, and you can see the stuff just like pouring out, like flowing, like that, and I showed her the bed, I showed her the bandages. I was like, this is not manageable, this is not normal. And I told her he finished antibiotics on Monday, and by Saturday, this is what's happening. So I told her once again that my suspicion is there's a foreign body in there, because this has only happened 2 other times, and both times there was something stuck in there, like from the bandages, there was something way, way down. And I have tried to get them to look at it at the CLSC and at the clinic in Brossard, and nobody can look into that wound because it is so deep that even with one of their powerful lights shining on it, they can't visualize the bottom of the wound. They can only see like about that far in. So they just look at it and they're like, oh, I don't see anything. So I told her nobody's taking this seriously, but I suspect there could be something in there. And she agreed with me. And she said, well, if he's taking antibiotics and then as soon as he's off them, this all comes back, it could be that there is something. And when he's on antibiotics, it kind of controls the infection. But whatever is in there, this old bandage or something, is harboring bacteria. And I was like, that's exactly what I think. So she brought him into the room and they looked at both sides because he's got wounds on both sides, because the problem is now he can't sleep on the side that's got that big problem. It's draining and all that. So the other side is now developing a literal pressure ulcer, and of course he shouldn't be sleeping on the side with the pressure sore, but he can't help it because he can't sleep on the other side. So it's kind of a problem, right? Well, they looked at it and they ended up giving us a referral. I've got this whole file here. I've got all his labs and his swabs, and I've got this referral right here. And I was really happy about this because in the referral, she actually said recurrence of foreign body. And the referral is for us to go to the emergency, because if you go and it's just you, they might give us the treatment. They might look at us and be like, who are these bums, and not take us seriously. I'm the stupid caregiver. He's the fucking hobo. Like, they're not going to take us seriously. But when you have a note from a doctor, it really helps a lot. So that's really all we wanted. She like explained the whole situation. So this is like our golden ticket to hopefully get taken seriously at the emergency, and we're going to try a different hospital. And so the possibilities is a antibiotic resistant, which I don't think, because after they swabbed it after he finished the antibiotics and it came out clear, and it actually gets better for a while. B would be a foreign body, which I think is still the most likely. And C is this rare type of skin cancer that develops in a wound, which has very similar symptoms. So if there's not a foreign body in there, then that would be the other thing, that they should do a biopsy to check that it hasn't turned into what they call a marginal ulcer, which is a type of squamous cell carcinoma that occurs in long-standing wounds. Let's hope it's not that. But Arron has been like overall not well. He's lost weight, his appetite's bad, his taste is off, he's very tired, probably because of the anemia. And he had also like a lot of recurring infections. So it's something that needs to be looked into. Oh yes, he was getting like chills at night and stuff like that. So we want to check, but my hunch is foreign body number one. And so they told us go to the hospital tonight. That doctor was like, oh my God, like he could get septic at any moment. She was very alarmed. And I told her, well, I have to go and feed everybody. And now, you know, while we were there, like his tubes were coming out and the bandage that they put on wasn't going to hold, and he had to go home and take a shower. We had to redo all the stuff. So that plus having to feed everyone, I kind of knew that we couldn't make it tonight. And they only have one doctor on staff after midnight. So I was like, no, we're going to be like, it's going to be super crazy. And then we're going to be there all night. So we decided not to go tonight. We're going to go tomorrow. In the meantime, and I told the doctor this, I'm giving him oil of oregano capsules, Organum compactum. And the funny thing is he's been taking those for 3 days and he's better. Like the first day I gave it to him, he was like, he looked like death warmed over. He was super pale. He was all, he was like delirious. He was mumbling. He had chills. He didn't have a fever, but he had chills, but he looked so bad. And I was like, well, it's either this or the antibiotics we have in the drawer. So let's try this. So I've been doing that for the time being, just so there's something to keep it maybe a little bit in check. And it seems like it's helping. He actually looks better. It's still draining really badly, but he doesn't look so unwell. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow. And I'm going to give you an update, and I hope this isn't super boring for you, but this is my life these days. And you know what sucks though is, like I said, he's now on retirement since January, so he's not on welfare, so he's allowed to like travel, Gunner's not on welfare yet. I mean, disability, you know, for his autism. So this would have been a good time for me to take Arron on a trip. And like, we've been planning this forever, ever since I met him. I was always like, one day I want to take you to Europe and I want to take you to the tropical places. He does have a record that is like from the 1970s, so that's a bit of an issue. So that limits, you know, Arron, obviously, bad boy that he is. He did a few bad things when he was very young. That was a very long time ago. But, you know, when you have that, you can't go to the States. So that's out. Mexico is completely out. And then for Europe, well, what I don't want to do, because I was trying to figure out, like, where can he go? What I don't want to do is, like, think that it's okay, book the ticket, show up there, and they get turned back, like, on arrival in Ireland or whatever. They're like, oh, no, you can't come in. And then, oh, my God. So that's what's holding me back also, like, I mean, it wasn't anything serious. It's not like he murdered anyone or anything like that, but still, a record is a record. So he should really get a pardon, but I can't get him motivated to go get one. And I'm sure he would get it because the stuff is so old. So probably that's what he should do. But I don't know. I've been telling him this for years. I've been telling this for 20 years. You need to get a pardon. But anyway, so that's the one thing. And the other thing is I can't travel with him, even in Canada, if his health is like this. We were going to go to Ontario, but I can't bring him anywhere. I mean, can you imagine going to a hotel room and every night, every day, the bed is a crime scene? And like, what a disaster, you know? And at any time, it could escalate and he could become septic or something. So that just kind of sucks. Our travel plans are on hold. But let's hope that tomorrow when we go to the hospital, that we're going to get somebody good and they're going to look inside that tunnel and find if there's anything in there, because I think there is. I know I said it like 3 times, but nobody ever listens to me, you know? So I've been saying this for 4 months. So let's find out tomorrow if I'm right, because that would be an easy fix. The last 2 times I found something in there, I pulled it out and then problem solved. Let's hope it's just that. And I'll keep you guys posted. And again, thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. I know I've been really crappy with uploading lately. I'm doing a ton of reselling though, and you know, just working really hard with that, which I have to do because Gunner is turning 18, so no more government tax credit, child support. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do, but I will try to keep you guys updated and let you know what's going on. But I'm not like here talking about the news, even though I know there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on right now. And honestly, like, as much as I know that this crazy stuff is happening, I'm kind of at the age where I'm like, listen, I'm 54 years old. I want to enjoy my life. I'm not going to be like stressing out about everything that's going on in the world right now. I'm just going to do my best with what I have today and be grateful for the day that the Lord has made for me. And yeah, I'm just going to do my best and enjoy my life, because wouldn't that suck if I just worried about everything for the next 30 years and then I kicked off and I'd be like, oh, I should have had more fun and enjoyed my family and spent more time with them. You know, that would suck. So that's what I've been doing. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.